everyone, and welcome to one of my channel info videos, which I do somewhat sporadically during the year. Really depends. Normally I only do them because something's happened and I can't put out certain videos, so I like to just update people. But I thought it would be nice to do one at the end of the year and make this a sort of regular yearly thing that goes out like around the time when I shoot the Yuletide videos and the Christmas videos. Like, this year it's going to be 6 repacks of Christmas with a deck build at the end of it, which is going out Christmas week. So yeah, this is going to go around about that time, somewhere between the Yuletide Land Ahoy video and the week of repacks, and really just looking forward to what stuff I'm going to be doing in 2024. So let's just dive in, I think, and have a chat about that. So those of you that are long-term friends of the channel and are familiar with the schedule, I do 6 videos a week. What I tend to do is shoot the Magic the Gathering videos on the same day, just back to back. It's usually on a Monday. And then the other 2 videos, which are non-Magic the Gathering content, I just shoot when I feel like it, when something comes up. So because of that, there is a sort of structure to the 6 days. And so for 2024, this is my plan going forward. You see, if you're already familiar with what's been happening, a lot of it is sort of more of the same. So once we get into January of 2024, I'm going to start off on Monday with those musings videos. So at the moment it's the deck musings one, which look back at the history of tournament magic, I suppose, through the lens of certain decks at certain points, basically when sets rotated. And so we're now in a position to start 8th edition. So I'm going to run that through from 8th edition now till 10th. That's the plan. And then once I get up to 10th edition, I'm going to talk about other non-standard sets through the lens of set musings, but with more like the recent one I did on Zendikar. So slicing it in terms of rarity and colour, but additionally I will bolt on cycle stuff because it helps when talking about things like drafting. But I'll do that at the end so it doesn't spoil it. So I'll run through the rarities and colours, and then talk about the cycles, and that'll be a nice recap in the video, sort of we'll highlight anything I've missed through just looking at it from a as fans perspective, from this idea of fanning out a booster pack. And because of the way it's organised by rarity, you get a certain impression of the set, which is very much tied to rarity. So Monday, carry on for the moment with the deck musings, and then once we get up to around 10th edition, there may be a bit of wiggle room there. I'll move over to other non-standard sets like the master stuff, which I know people I think are keen for me to do. It's come up a few times now, but then I might also choose to cover things like Portal, that sort of stuff. But certainly masters I'm keen to do. In fact, if you ever remember, the only time I've ever opened a full booster box was for Masters Edition, the first one. So yeah, if you haven't checked that video out, check it out. It's an interesting video. It's the only time I probably invested that sort of money in Magic product, I think, in a single purchase. Then Tuesday, sort of following on, because basically the Monday, Tuesday and Friday videos I try and sync up, even though they're looking through different lenses. So Tuesday, that whole deck durdle, commander fodder, commander durdle thing, that I've been doing in various guises now for quite a while is going to pick up at 8th edition and go on till 10th edition. Once we get up to where this is non-standard sets, then quite possibly it'll just feature non-standard sets as part of the build. I might do again like I did recently, where I revisit, because at the moment we're very much in commander mode, in commander fodder mode, but it would be interesting to do sealed builds on the non-standard sets. I think see what masters look if you attempt like a sealed build on it with 6 packs of masters. Anyway, just putting that out there. So nothing's sort of carved in stone for these, for the Tuesday one. The Monday's a bit more definite, but Tuesday really just follows on in terms of what I'm talking about, the sets and magic product, really from Monday, so it feeds out from that. But yeah, it'll be very much a deck building, either assisted or non-assisted, and either commander or something else. Yeah, I'm keen to carry on with the My Life in Objects on Wednesday. That's proving popular now. Some things I talk about are more popular than others, but that's, yeah, some things people are more interested in than others. So I'm keen to carry on with that. Let me know if there's a particular area of interests that you have, just so if I can't guarantee, I'm not going to go out and buy anything, but there might be something I have in my collection, and I'm talking about books here, music, those sort of things, like non-Magic the Gathering stuff. Well, and I suppose Magic the Gathering books actually is included in that. But if there's anything like that you've seen me cover before in other episodes or series that were similar to this, then maybe you'd like me to dive a bit further into. Let me know, and I'll see what I can dig out. Again, it's got to be stuff that I already own, but it's nice to get some sort of match up there. Thursday's a bit of an open thing at the moment, and I'll come on to this in a moment, actually, what question raises out of that. So at the moment, I've dialed back on my online studies. I've just finished like a computer science course, which I'll be talking about in the new year. And as a result, it's nicely, and it was planned, it's freed up, 2-3 weeks at Christmas, where in those weeks I'm just going to be filming content for the channel, but I'm not going to be doing any study. In that period, I'm looking to, this is just a personal project again, is looking to re-explore some 90s music that I missed. So I've dug out all these like interesting 90s magazines I picked up over the years that look back at 90s, like Metal Hammer 1 and Terrorizer and other things as well, not just extreme music. And I'm sort of going through that and trying to say to myself, like, during that period, what was the popular thesis? I was taking a very Hegelian view, but what was the popular thesis at the time musically, particularly obviously through the lens of the UK where I was at the time. What was the synthesis? What was the antithesis, and what was the synthesis? But also from my own thing, what was I listening to mainly? So what was my thesis? What was the antithesis of that, which I never really got around to listening to? And then was there anything that I did listen to or might want to listen to that's a hybrid of that, that's a synthesis? So that's what I'm going to be doing, sitting down doing that. Nothing to do with putting it out as content. But if you're interested in me in talking about 90s music, because I'm already doing that, I'm going to be already in that mind space. Let me know. Let me know if there's any favourite 90s albums of yours. Or maybe, even if there's a favourite of the decade, you might like me to talk about in music. Because it's been a bit hit and miss with the music stuff I've done. And I know not everybody's, not everybody's like me. Like, music is my thing, really. It's like my favourite thing to think about and to talk about. And I think one of the reasons why, I ended up, marrying my wife, who came on to my wife, was like our shared passion in music. So, I just adore like listening to music, I need to play it more actually as well. I've really let my chops slip a lot, and that's something I need to do. Not necessarily on channel, but and I currently have, I think, a few videos out there were about setting a guitar up, which gets the most amount of views on the channel, funnily enough. But I'm not planning on necessarily having that as content. But one day I might decide to talk a little bit about music composition, which does really fascinate me as well. Once I feel sort of comfortable again to do that and to do it. I don't like doing stuff, not necessarily because I feel uncomfortable, but there's too many people there that think they're experts and aren't. And so I like to wait until I think, I can talk about this really in an informed way and properly deal with any questions. And at the moment, I'm not there currently to do that in terms of playing music, but in terms of talking about listening to music, no problem there. So if people want to talk about a certain era of music, let me know. Thursday at the moment is pretty open. I might do some computer science videos, some AI videos. I'm keen to do some relaxation videos again, but I just need to gauge how much people want me to do those. It's funny, some of them are sort of super popular, but then the popularity dies off. But that could be because people just rewatch the stuff. And then, of course, I've got a lot of it's repeated on Spotify as well, because a lot of it's re-uploads from my Spotify relaxation podcast. Friday, going to carry on with the artwork video. We're back to singles in 2024, so that'll be cool. I'll take it up to 10th edition. The reason why 10th edition is significant is because I'd already done some singles videos from Lorwyn onwards. So there might not be such a clean cut off there. I'll have to look back and see what I covered, because I think I just probably looked at elementals. So 10th edition is roughly where it's going to be, but it might fold into Lorwyn block as well. So I just want to see the point at which I started beyond there to really start to look at artwork in depth, because we've sort of looped back and gone back through the stuff that I didn't cover. Decks Revisited, I'm just going to carry on with Commander. I'm going to finish off what I have of the yearly Commander product up to where I stopped buying it. So I think there's at least one more of those, maybe two. And then I'll be into those pairs of decks which they released for the Euro Commander. If you remember, the ones that were slightly dialed back, but sort of went on to, over time, replace the other precons that were in that set slot in terms of, what was it? Planeswalker decks, I think. Yeah, that's what we got up to. We theme decks to intro decks to Planeswalker decks and then Commander decks. And that Euro Commander with the two decks per set, I think, almost to see with the benefit of hindsight, it seems like maybe Wizards testing the water. I don't know. So, I have that year's worth of decks as well, so that I'll do after I get finished up on the yearly Commander decks, and then I'll move into probably dual decks as well. So that might be an interesting thing. So that's just going to roll on the Decks Revisited. It's all stuff I've already unboxed, but it's a real excuse to get up close with the artwork in the decks on there. So it's just really another artwork video. And then also for me to re-promote the original unboxings, because all of those have the unboxings in the description. So then it comes on to this question of the monthly year of video, which I'm keen to carry on as a concept. Last year's one was Brian Eno, where I went through his diary from 95. 2024, I'd like to do something based around a coding project. Now, this is what I'm planning on doing. So once a month, I'm going to release a video about, we'll go through 12 languages that are used in AI. It ties in with a course I'm planning on doing as part of CS50, their programs that they've got, where there's one called Python for AI. So I'm planning on doing that in the new year in a little bit more of a casual fashion, and I have done other things and spend a lot more time on it. But in parallel, and the fact that I'm going to dial it back and probably only do the on the days when I'm not filming, doing the course in the morning, maybe up till a certain point in the day, and then doing a little bit of online coding through a site which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So my plan is, in parallel with the other computer science stuff I'm just doing for funsies, I suppose, and to keep myself up to speed on everything, is to do this, basically 12 languages in 12 months type thing. And each month, I'm going to do a check-in video as an incentive to myself. Just like the Brian Eno video. So that then raises a question: is there, what would you like me to revisit or explore generally? So in terms of what could go in the Thursday slot, if there's anything here that you're keen for me to do, let me know, so I could then sort of slightly bias it a bit more, rather than maybe roll round doing each of these categories in a month or something. But also, is there something you might like me to do as a monthly video? So just let me know. Like I said, I am very keen now. I've thought through this several times to do this, and it's just going to go out anyway, just as a pin on the map, if you like, to give myself a incentive to keep it up. Because when I've done like 12 languages in the past over the course of a year, I've kept it up for about 3 months, and then it sort of fell off. But that was basically when I was in full-time employment, working for the man. Now I'm retired from public life, so to speak, and working for myself in my own way. I can maybe, I have the time to do that, to spread out. And don't forget, I've put a note here, don't forget the playlist. So we've got like an eye-watering amount of content on the channel now. So don't forget to check out the playlist if you're relatively a new friend of the channel. And I know there's been several people checking recently who've said hi. So I try and always remember to say hi back. But if I haven't, thank you very much for checking the channel out, and hopefully you'll enjoy the content. But the other thing, and so I just got to find it. Where is it? So that's the one I'm planning on doing in the new year, in terms of the ongoing course, this CS50 Introduction to Artificial Intelligence with Python. I'm keen to do that. But I've also discovered this resource, which is Exercism. It's been around for quite a while now. Quite a while. And I've only just become aware of it very recently, I think since yesterday. And I really like the idea of this. So this is what's going to form the backbone of my 12 languages over 12 months. It was rather interesting because I thought of doing 12 languages over 12 months. Then when I found this, I realised they did a 12 in 23 challenge. I don't know if they're going to do a 12 in 24. And if they did, I don't think I'd follow their schedule, because I also had a little bit of, the universe giving me a nudge, in that I ticked off there for their filter what languages on there were under the AI, had the AI tag. So these would be considered languages that have been used for artificial intelligence. And funnily enough, there were 12 such languages. Now, obviously, there's more than 12 languages that are used in AI, and there's a whole load of other general purpose languages that are used as an adjunct to AI. But these were the ones that were tagged, and certainly several of these I've recognised already as having AI libraries. And some, historically, Common Lisp and Prolog have been around for, I nearly said centuries, decades. Since what was it? Lisp's been around since the late 50s, maybe. Prolog probably just as long. So I thought, it was interesting to to have those on the list, but also things I've already done like Python. But I'm interested in covering more machine learning and neural network libraries with that, which also line up nicely with that course, because that's what I'll be learning there. So that's going to make it a bit easier on myself. That's probably the one I'm going to do first. I'll probably go through this in order of the most amount of exercises, but I do want to start with that one. So it'll probably go something like Python, Java, JavaScript, F#, Clojure. I know Clojure and Common Lisp are very similar, but it'd be handy to do both, I think. Clojure, Common Lisp. This is a dialect of Lisp anyway, I believe. Common Lisp. Where are we next? What's next highest? Pharaoh, which I have no knowledge of at all. Oh, First Julia. Now I have done a little... No, sorry, that's not true. It's R that I've done a little bit. I did some R programming last year. I bought a book on R and worked my way through it over Christmas. So I know a little bit of R. Yeah, so Julia, R... And of course I missed out TypeScript here as well, so that'll... But yeah, roughly in order of number of exercises. The logic behind doing that is it appears that a lot of these ones I'm going to do first already have learning mode in them. The others don't, so I'm hoping through the course of the year these might catch up a bit. That's the idea of going through in sort of highest first, apart from Python, which I just want to do for convenience. So yeah. So that's the 12 languages I'm planning on doing it, and I'm going to make a note of that because probably this will change during the year, and then I'll forget what was on the original list. Of course, I could always change it as I go along, but that looks pretty good actually. That's going to cover quite a number of things, I think, there. So yeah, that's really where I am in terms of this. But beyond that, let me know what you would like me to talk about. The one thing I never really feel comfortable to do, and it's just I'm not fast enough, is gameplay videos. I believe me, I have tried. Nothing's ever gone up, but yeah, a while back I did try something. I went through and tried to do an old school game, and there's still a possibility I might do an old school game. I even fancy just revisiting those. Really, I used to love the Magic the Gathering, Jewels of the Planeswalker stuff, but really trying to play online against someone, my brain just can't keep up in terms of like keeping an eye on the game state and trying to narrate what I'm doing. So yeah, if I do anything, it's probably going to be playing a game where I'm either playing against AI or it's an old school game that I just remember from back in the day that I just fancy revisiting. And then it's a question of just trying to setting up the computer to capture it, which is sometimes a whole challenge in itself. Because the one I tried didn't interact nicely with the screen capture I currently use, and I like the one I currently use because it's so flipping simple. You just start it, and then when you're done, you just press the escape key, and job done. So yeah, it didn't play nice whenever it was I tried to play. So if I did, I'd have to set something up. But yeah, just let me know. So thanks once again for watching and listening, and yeah, we got more content on obviously between when this goes out and the new year anyway in 2024. So I'm looking forward to the week of Dollarama repacks, and the subsequent deck build is always amusing in terms of what ends up getting put together. Plus, it's always funny to see what duplicates we get in, as happened last year, where I think we got like the same card, like was it 4 or 5 times? It's just ridiculous. So that's always amusing. And so yeah, that, and then roll on into the 2024. So have a great rest of the year. Enjoy the rest of the content, and bye for now. And I will definitely be catching you in the next video and in 2024 for your sins.